Hello again, guys. How we doing? So Loki is now in with his dad. Um, I did not want to be fighting with him to try and start this particular project. Now this is, as you can see, a rocking horse. Let's see if I can zoom out a little bit here for you. This one's less of a restoration and more of just painting it for a specific purpose. This is going to go in the nursery of my very first grandbaby. So she's going to be a special project. The room that she's going in is going to be, well, he, it's hard to say what I would call this one, since we don't know what the baby is just yet. We're going to go with something that could go either way, and something that hopefully they can use in any baby's rooms in the future. Pardon me while I just dust her off a little bit here. I've been holding on to this project for a few weeks, waiting for my daughter and her other half to announce officially before I started saying anything on here, because I know a good number of you guys that watch actually do know me personally. So there's no hiding who the baby would belong to, since I only have one child. So first thing, after I send my thing flying there, we're just going to tie the hair back because we don't want to paint the hair. We're going to keep that as is and work with it for the color scheme. But I think first things first, I am going to go ahead and primer it so that we can get, I want to go kind of cartoony with it, make it something kind of fun. And we'll put a little fun message from Gran on the back, which is what I've decided to go with. But it's very, very exciting. I'm really happy she's in a good place and he's a good man. So generally makes me happy that my daughter is able to have this next step in her life be completely celebratory and not anything to stress over. I think she's going to be a heck of a mama. I found this guy in one of my favorite little antique shops. I've actually found quite a few projects in that shop. It just sits right up the road from me, which is always a bonus. It's actually the same place that I got my little tricycle that we are going to be starting on very soon. And that also, once it's finished, is going to be going to the baby. I'm just waiting to start that one till we know if it's going to be a boy or a girl, because I'll go color schemed with that because I can, mostly. I am definitely excited to start this new adventure of being a grandparent. My grandparents were an amazing part of my life, and my parents have been, and her father's parents were amazing for her life. So I look forward to being able to be the next to fill that set of shoes. And my other half is super excited as well. He's one, even though biologically he's not her father, he's been super happy to step in and kind of be that part of her life that, you know, she's wanted him to be in. It's always fun and exciting starting down new roads. I've started a lot of them of late. This is one I am thoroughly looking forward to, though. I've looked forward and hoped and prayed for the opportunity to spoil a grandbaby pretty much since I had Tess myself. If her child turns out anything like her, I will consider it a very, very lucky thing. She has just made it a point to be that person that I could always be proud of. It's not to say mistakes weren't made here and there, but she's always owned them. And that's all I ever ask. If you make a mistake, own it, learn from it, move on to the next thing. It's the easiest way to go about pretty much anything in life. So what do you think we should name this guy? Because once we get him finished, we're going to put a sweet little message to the little sprout on the back. Hopefully by that time I will have a name to put it to. But if not, we'll just use a nickname. I haven't come up with a good one for him yet. My daughter became Munchkin pretty quickly after she was born, so who knows? Maybe it'll be something along that line. I've teased her and told her even when she's in her 40s, she will still be my Munchkin. I think this is going to be a super fun project, though. And I have until January to get it finished, so it better not take me that long. I haven't 100% locked into a color scheme yet. I want to make it something that can go into any nursery so that if they do have more children, they can use it in theirs, or they can put it away and hand it down to this one when they have babies. Well, if not everybody chooses to have children, and that's perfectly okay as well. I only had the one, and she was enough for me. I love the idea that this might turn into an heirloom someday, though. And same thing with the little tricycle. I think anything like that, you know, has some age to it and has been, you know, maybe somebody else's heirloom. It's neat to give it a new life and a new family that it can belong to. And I hope to see this guy hanging in generations long after I've gone. And that's even if, you know, someone down the line decides to redo it, repaint it, and redecorate it for any reason. I would be perfectly okay with that as well. As long as it's done with love. That's all I'm worried about. A good heirloom should always have a good story of love attached to it. And this I happened to find within a day of finding out that I was going to be a grandmother. So it was a super excited thing that I grabbed. And I knew right away that it was going to be how I announced it. But we've got to get a nice blank slate to start with before we can really start planning anything on it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. She's doing her gender reveal in a couple of weeks. It's fun. If you have kids, you'll definitely know it's fun and exciting watching them get excited for new and unexpected changes in their lives. Her, though, I always knew. I've known since she was little that she wanted more than anything to be a mom. So I'm happy for this for her, for that, if nothing else. But it does help knowing that she's in a good, solid relationship and a nice, financially stable home where they can just enjoy the process of planning and preparing for this little one. So we're getting a good start on her. I am going to have to go ahead and end here. Let this part dry so that I can move it around just a little bit more. But there will definitely be a lot more on this little horse in the future. And until then, I will talk to you guys later.